Hey guys, how's it going? So this is going to be a little video for all of you AR guys. And as you probably know, I'm actually more of an AK guy, but I love the AR too, but this video is for all the AR people and shout out to all of you. So I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about a device from Mantis called the Blackbeard. And I've had this for a few months. Now, not being familiar with something like this, I wasn't quite sure if I like it, but I've used this thing now, literally thousands of trigger pulls, and that's why I'm now excited to bring this video to you guys and talk about what this actually is. So this is basically a dry fire training device that's going to promote better shooting skills. There's going to be a bunch of uses for this that I'll go over in just a couple minutes, as well as for new gun owners, people that are just starting to get comfortable with their firearm, and all the way up to like super advanced people that can shoot like 100 times better than me, which I'm sure a lot of you guys can. This is going to be totally awesome. So first and foremost, like I said, it's a dry fire training, a learning tool, but there's no modifications to the firearm at all. I'm making no modifications to it, nothing permanent here. And in fact, this can be swapped out in, I don't know, 20 seconds or so. So what do we have? Well, this is actually an auto trigger reset device that's going to aid in dry firing, plus actually quite a bit more than that. So I'll show you guys basically how this works. There's one unit here that's going to replace your BCG and charging handle. You guys know how quick that is to swap out, right? And where the magazine would normally go is actually going to be a battery pack. Now it also comes in a nice little package here with actually a really nice custom formed foam case that makes it perfect to carry this around from the range. And with what I'm going to get to in a few minutes, you may want to actually take this to a friend's house and have a competition with them. There's a lot of really cool stuff that this can do, especially when you put it in conjunction with their Laser Academy, which I'm going to do a review on that soon. Now, I'm not asking you guys to buy anything at all, but if you were to choose to get one of these, I'm going to leave a link in the pinned comment. And if you were to use that link and appreciated this review, it'll give a little kickback back to the channel, and I really appreciate it. Like I said, not selling you anything, but I'm really, really glad that I have this, and I think a lot of you guys would too. So, dry fire. You can do many things, right? Trigger control. You can practice just the ergonomics, holding onto the firearm, build up muscle strength in that finger, learn how to get a nice clean break for more accuracy, all kinds of things. Well, that's pretty lame on an AR-15 normally. So check out how this works. I'm going to pull the trigger. You hear a little audible noise, and it's going to reset automatically. Check this out again. Now I'm going nice and slow so you guys can see how this works, but yeah, this is like totally awesome. This brings dry fire to a new level, one where I'm actually really having fun with this, and I don't know, I might have to become an AR guy. By the way, if you guys know anyone at Mantis, see if they can make one of these for the AK, because that'd be totally awesome too. Now, I'm going nice and slow here, just kind of practicing my shots, but you can actually go as fast as your trigger finger will allow. This thing can reset up to 10 shots per second. Not bad, right? The battery pack. It comes with a little USB cable, micro USB port, okay? And you can just push in this little tab and it'll show you how much juice you have. I've actually been messing around with this for a couple hours on and off before I recorded this video. And these battery packs, one charge can last up to 100,000 shots. So unless your trigger finger's stronger than mine, you charge this up, you're going to have days of dry firing and just hanging out and having fun, right? And as you can see, if you do it right, I'm always doing stuff backwards on camera, guys. He doesn't know how to put a magazine in his AR. I do. When I'm looking at it in my video software, it's backwards. So cut me a little break, guys. But look, just standard release. I imagine it's drop free, but I don't want to find out and have this battery hit the concrete floor. Alright, new shooters. This is very important because this is actually practicing and getting used to your firearm completely safely. Obviously, there's no BCG, there's no bolt, there's no firing pin in this rifle. It cannot fire, it cannot chamber around, which makes this very, very safe to use. Trying to build up trigger strength for someone that's, you know, they're beyond the basics, even though we need to always practice the basics, right? But they just want to put in trigger pulls so you can strengthen that trigger finger. I don't know, if you guys haven't been shooting in a while, or if you're new, you know what I'm talking about. You go try to put hundreds of rounds down range, your finger gets tired. So I think it's also really good for that. Now, this comes in different options. So you can get just this Blackbeard setup where the auto resetting trigger, right, for dry fire with the battery pack. But just for a little bit more, you can actually get it with a red laser, which is the model that I have right here. And I'm going to show you guys how that laser works in 1 second and how you can use this in conjunction with Mantis's awesome Laser Academy too. You can also get it in a green laser, which is going to run you a little more, or an IR for those of you that use those for training. And that's even a little bit more than that, but I think this red laser, just for me personally, is kind of the sweet spot. I think it was like 20 more to upgrade to the red laser rather than having no laser at all. So with this laser, we can now practice our accuracy, which is pretty darn cool. Now there's 2 settings on here. I have it set, there's a little dip switch. You guys might be able to see that little black switch there. You can just hit that with a small flat blade. And you can turn the laser where it's always on, just always shooting down the bore at whatever you're aiming at. Or I have it set to the default setting where every time I pull the trigger, it just shoots a momentary laser beam, puts a dot on the target. Now notice we're doing this inside. So that's also a huge, huge bonus because a lot of you guys, it's cold outside. You might not want to go outside in the winter to practice, right? Some of you guys live in the city where you couldn't possibly discharge a firearm in your backyard. Some of you have to drive far to the range and it's expensive, right? And you just don't have time because you work too much. Now, that's not to mention the ammo savings. Like even cheap 5.56 223 ain't so cheap anymore. So, in my opinion, the fact that you're getting tons and tons of training with this, it pays for itself very, very quickly just in the ammo savings alone, not to mention the flexibility that you can do this in your bedroom, your basement, your garage. Now, I'm still going to practice the rules of gun safety with this, but this makes your firearm where it's completely safe. Nothing but a laser beam can possibly come out of the bore with this installed, okay? And one more time, no modifications are being done to this firearm at all. It takes under a minute, probably 20 seconds, and you're right back to where you were before. Now, I'm going to try to show you how this laser beam works. I may have to turn out the lights. Now, I have studio lighting in here, tons of LEDs. I have big fluorescent tubes there, just to make it where the camera comes in better, right? Now, these webcams that I use, this Logitech, it actually uses a laser for autofocus and all that. So it actually tries to cancel out lasers. But we'll see if you guys can see it. If not, we'll turn off the light. Point being, I promise you, I can see this laser crystal clear in studio type lighting. So the laser is very bright and very serviceable. And I'm going to aim at that A on the 2A. And my camera's cutting it out. So I'm going to come right back to you guys with the lights out. But I promise you, you do not need to turn the lights off in real life. My eye's picking it up. It's just the camera's too smart for its own good and it's trying to cut out the laser. But this camera's not going to ruin my video. I'll be right back. I'm back. My shop's dark. In real life, you do not need to do this. I'm just trying to trick the camera. So I'm going to point at that big 2A logo in the back. And you guys should now see, as I'm pulling the trigger, it's throwing a laser beam right there around where the letter A is. So that's pretty cool. It's giving you that visual confirmation. And obviously, you probably wouldn't be shooting at a big 2A, but an actual target. Let me get the lights on. Okay, so if you're in the house, like I said, you could obviously, basement wall, wherever you're at, put up a target, and you can visually see, even in bright, bright light like this, when you're not on camera, you can just watch right where that's going and just totally pinpoint, right? So you can do real life target practice. Now there's this little teeny adjustment hole here where you can use this little Allen wrench that they give you, and you can actually adjust the laser's path, right? Just kind of tweak it where you can start to do co-witnessing with sights, things like that, which is awesome. And I thought about something else from within the home. Now, some of you guys think this way, some of you don't, but I've had people talk before on my channel here on YouTube, also over on Locals, which, by the way, make sure you head over to my Locals. It's totally free, or you can support the channel. And I appreciate all the people that support on my Patreon, Locals, channel members. You guys are totally awesome. But you can go over and watch the companion video to this on Locals, where I'm going to kind of break this down a little more. Which, I don't know, they like it a little more on Locals than on YouTube as far as taking this stuff apart. But definitely, we were talking over there on Locals just not too long ago. People were talking about training within their home, like sweeping their home, bumping a night, okay? Practicing. How would you get that firearm from the safe, from the bedside, and walk through the hallways of your home? And I thought that's a totally awesome idea. And let me know down in the comments if some of you guys think about that. So, bump in the night. You want to get around the doorway, point, click. I can see, you guys can't see it, but I can see on this wall about 40 feet away from me, completely other side of my shop, I can see that light. So I can actually safely, again, nothing but a laser can possibly come out of the barrel because of how this unit's designed. I can practice coming up from the low, coming around the corner. And you could time yourself doing that. You could practice different angles, and you would see where the trajectory would be, right? If it were to be a bullet, by where that laser beam is hitting on a spot on the wall, the front door, the window, different scenarios. And you guys are probably kind of imagining in your home different places like that too, where a burglar may enter or whatever, if you had to, you know, God forbid, defend yourself, your family, life, right? Things like that. So I think it's an awesome training aid for that. I've been pulling triggers on guns, guys. Shoot, I'm going to admit to how old I am. About 27 years now. Since 1994. My first gun, SKS. And I still find that if I don't pull triggers for a few weeks, your finger gets a little bit rusty, right? So this is awesome just as a strength conditioning tool. So many new gun owners out there, and I'm always trying to help you guys. You can get very comfortable, safe with your firearm. I think this is awesome for people that live in the city and just can't make it out to the range. So besides the awesome dry firing stuff, I'm going to be doing another video soon on another product from Mantis, and I want to bring this up because they actually work in conjunction with each other. Mantis has a laser academy, and that link that I'm going to put in the comment, which if you guys do buy one of these, it'd be nice if you used it. It sends me a few crumbs and helps me, you know, keep these videos going. But you can also look when you're over on Mantis's site at their laser academy. Okay, which I have one of those too, and that video is going to be on the channel soon. Here's what I did. This works in conjunction with that, which is basically a way you can score yourself or even have competitions with friends. Like literally make your own virtual range in your backyard, at the side of your garage, in the house, basement, rec room, whatever. Basically, whatever your wife will allow you to do. Now, if you're a chick gun owner, your husband will probably think it's awesome, so you probably don't really have to ask him. You guys know what I'm saying, right? But yeah, it's really cool that you could actually get like a couple people together that have these and do real life simulated competition or training course, because the way the Laser Academy works, real briefly, and there's going to be a video on this later, it actually takes like a phone app, and there's targets you get with it. You put the target on the wall, the phone app looks at the target, and it reads where that laser hits, and it scores you and keeps track of your shooting in countless numbers of ways, right? This laser, that's why I said it's worth it to get the red laser version. It's barely more than the non-laser Blackbeard. You can actually pair that with their Laser Academy and start scoring yourself with this. So here's what I did. I'm covered here with 223556 with this device, with the laser, right? So I've got all the cool dry fire practice, practicing drills if you wanted to, all that stuff covered here. Now, with the Laser Academy, you can purchase that in a bunch of different calibers. So I just went with the 9mm. So let's just say the Taurus G3C Restrike. I'm going to use the 9mm laser cartridge with the Laser Academy for my pistol. Then I can just grab this rifle, or any AR, quite frankly, that I have, and use that also for the Laser Academy. So this basically adds a whole nother gun to your laser academy, and you can pick another caliber cartridge, whether it's, you know, 45 or there's several different ones. You guys will see that link in the pinned comment, and you can definitely explore that. So yeah, you guys don't really see a lot of stuff like this on this channel because I guess I'm getting kind of old, and I thought, well, I don't know, there's no way this thing would really work. You kind of think that, right? Well, like I said, I've actually had this for a couple months now. I didn't want to do a video saying, hey, I just took this out of the box and it works once. Look, there's some kind of like super secret with electromagnets in here. I don't physically actually know how it works. I just know that it does. You just slap this in here. Instead of the BCG and charging handle, you slap the battery in where the magazine would normally go. And the thing just works. It has excellent battery life. That laser's always right there on point. I tweaked the laser just a little bit with the adjustment wrench. But look, I'm running an A2. This is an old school. You guys may have different sighting systems. So it is cool that you can do little bits of adjustments in there, right? And I really think this is nice. I thought about this a lot. For new shooters, for experienced shooters, people in between like myself. I can shoot better than some people I know, but way worse than most. So this is definitely going to help me with not only the actual trigger pulling itself, but with their laser academy scoring myself, seeing how much I need to improve. And I think I'm going to get a couple buddies to come over, you know, and do a little competition this winter when it's really cold outside and we don't really want to go outside and shoot, and we don't want to spend $15 an hour at an indoor range. I think this is going to be awesome. Just kind of have a little range party in the shop, shooting at the wall using this in conjunction with the Mantis Laser Academy that I'm going to be showing you guys soon. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. I think it's pretty cool. And there's going to be a bonus video over on my locals, which is an awesome community. You can support there, or totally free, and you'll be able to watch a companion video to that there. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and have a good one.